Good morning, everybody. Woo-hoo. Be Live is getting on quicker, but I didn't want to miss my 9:40. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Woo. Sorry about that. And away we go. What do we have for today? It's Ruthie Rocks and happy day. It is June 21st. And I think summer's right around the corner. Spring's going away. So we are on our way to probably some triple digits, but not yet, which is really exciting for me. I live in the desert, but I don't like that heat for those couple months that we have it. I like to sit outside and enjoy my backyard and things like that. And it's hard to do when it's over 100, especially for me. Anyway, what is going on in real estate? Well, the reason why we continue to do these stats is so that you all know the trends and know the shifts in the market and know exactly what to tell people when they say, how's the market? And I will tell you one thing, we are holding pretty steady. We're about median price as of today is about 447,000. I didn't change the 448,000 because I think it probably by the end of the month, that number's probably going to go up a little bit. So, or maybe 448 will be it. Anyway, y'all have listed 219 homes this week, and it says weekend, but no, it's this week. Anyway, and of those, 3,362 were actual single-family homes. Now, the important part about that is that 1,030 of those single-family homes available are within the median price range or lower. And that's 31% of our market right now. So that's a good thing. And of those homes that you listed, the 164 that you listed, 31% are 31% are the median price, which is really good. And then if you look, we're doing about 44 days of inventory. Not bad. We're hovering there for past several weeks. We're doing 95 sales a day. I suspect that might jump up by the end of the month a little bit because this is our busy time of the year. Year to date, we're doing 88 sales for the year per day. And we are selling 21 homes that are non-owner occupied. Now, what we know is that some of those become owner occupied or second homes. So in that number is the second homes. There is really no way at this point in time for us to get the stat whittled down to what of those are investors and what are actual second homes. But they're investments. That's the main thing. And 21 of those sales a day of the 95 a day are investors. And my gosh, 3.7 of the sales per day are $1 million plus homes. And we have sold year to date $619 million homes. And the available homes in the $1 million plus range are 748. And that is 16% of our market. And like I keep telling you all, and hopefully this resonates when you need it to, but your market is very diverse here, which is really good. I mean, we showed the stats the other day on the rentals. The rental market is good. So that's good for investors. The investors continue to buy homes. People that buy $1 million plus homes, that's 16%. Median price is 31%. So all in all, we have a really good, robust market. And if you don't have a farm, please get one because people are buying homes. People are listing their homes. I know everybody says, oh, people aren't listing their homes, but they are listing their homes. And a lot of that has to do with the amount of people that have so much equity, they can afford to downsize, move up, whatever. And with the people that buy their home, they have enough in their equity because they've owned their homes longer than 3 or 4 years. They have enough there to help people buy down their interest rate if they can. So I think that is something that of all the shows I listen to, and I listen to a lot of economists and things like that. And one of the things that they don't have is They don't have a brokerage. They don't have they're still not doing deals. And I don't do many deals, but I do get referrals from now and then. So I am in touch with the market. We do the CE. So we have a different perspective than most of the people out there putting on shows of this nature. Anyway, let's move on for a second here. I want to get on to what's going on here. Hold on, let me put this down. So, you know that Jerome Powell had an opportunity to clarify what many found a confusing message, right, on the path of interest rates. And rates dropped to open the holiday shortened weekend. Now that's this weekend. Despite a report, the residential construction is gaining momentum. Now, housing starts rose 5.2% above April, and that's a 1.63 million annualized figure in May, which isn't bad. And that exceeded all expectations. So the number's still down 13% from last year, and total starts of new homes are down 15.5% on a year-to-year basis. However, continued growth in new home construction is consistent with improving home builder sentiment. And if you watch the stock market, you'll see that the new homes, the Pulte's and some of the new home companies that are on the stock market, their stock prices are robust right now. And the ongoing lack of existing homes is helping the home builder sentiment. So building permits rose to 1.49 million. Now, this is across the United States, but it's still good for you to know what's going on in other parts of the country. And why? Because 8.8 people move here every hour. So they're moving from somewhere. And generally, it's not from Reno. It's from all over the United States. So it's good to know what's going on all over the United States. So this morning, the industry leaned that mortgage applications increased 0.5% from last week. That's always good. And it's nice to see an increase, even though it's small and it's not a decline. And the adjustable rate mortgage activity decreased a little bit in applications. The FHA share of total applications increased to 13.3% from 13% last month. And that's not a big jump, but it is something. And so what you need to glean from this capital market report is that interest rates have gone down just a little bit, continued growth in the new home construction, and building permits are rising, and applications are up. So that's kind of like all what that means in that whole scenario there. So let's go to something else here then, and let's look at today's mortgage rates. Today we have 6.87, which is down 0.08%, which isn't big, but it's something, right? It's something. And let's see. Nothing much to glean from this, except that, you know, it's been higher, and it's been down lower, and it's kind of that rocky road. It's not like 2022 in August when it was really low. But anyway, 6%, 6.87% isn't that bad when you look at the. I know a lot of you are young, but I mean, over the years, I think when I got in this business in the 1980s, interest rates were as high as 15%. So if you want to start in a tough market, you know, that's a tough market. Anyway, let me just show you something else here. Let me hide this. See how we can do this. Okay. So if you look at the mortgage rates, on a $450,000 home with a 10% down payment and a credit score between 740 and 759, you're looking at a total payment of $2,364. And by the way, that does include your HOA, your taxes, and your insurance. And then, and that's from PenFed. PenFed is a credit union, and they're about a whole point lower than what the interest rate is today. So this includes, though, the borrower buying it down a little bit. However, if you don't buy it down, it doesn't make sense to me, because in 2 or 3 months, you really make up in the savings for what you bought it down with forever, as long as you had that mortgage. So that's something that you need to probably let people know. And I want to show you this site. because this site is where you can go and show your, your borrowers different scenarios really easily. And this I found to be the most accurate of all sites. And it's Mortgage News Daily, and it's a great site, and it has all kinds of features. You can do it, the amortization schedules, you can change the down payment, all types of different scenarios that you can create. And it's good to show your what's good to show your buyer is how buying the mortgage rate down puts them right in where the sweet spot for the rental market is. Of course, they have to come up with the 10%, which we came up with 45,000 here on this purchase of 450,000. But you've got to be able to tell this story, especially now when there's all this hype about the interest rates, and especially this one from PenFed, which shows that there are products out there where you can get under 6%. Maybe, and again, the message is that you put enough down, you put enough apply toward the buying down the rate, which over time, short period of time, you make up in the payment. So that's something that you need to show them. And by doing various scenarios without buying it down, show them the difference. Okay. Let's move on here. Today is kind of like my Buffini day, if you will, where I want to share some things with you. Now, it is party time, and we are selling homes, so we should be having client parties. And this is a little scenario of what you would do in July if you had a client party. And there's parks. I know Aaron Taylor used to do. I forget where the park was, but there's a lot of parks. I mean, Sunset Park, there's parks in the Northeast, parks in the West, where you can go and invite people to come, maybe have a food truck, maybe have a grill, maybe do your own thing, whatever. But there's lots of things that you can do. And when you start doing them and people start meeting each other, you generate synergy. And synergy is an interesting word, but synergy actually creates a network for you. So let's see. This says, glow in the park. Nothing boosts a summer concert under the stars. Invite your clients to a night of music. Sure. We have Hal, who plays for our Christmas parties. He is fantastic. He knows the words to over 100 songs. And he's great at the guitar. He even has a violinist that he can bring with him, which adds, another dimension to the music he provides. And then, of course, you have food and fun. Now, when we have our Christmas party at our office, we hire a photo booth, and they're not that expensive. And the people bring all different kinds of fun things people can wear. And that's always something that, generates a lot of conversation, a lot of camaraderie. People take their pictures together. It's just fun. And they take funny pictures, and then you can email. The whole system allows you. I'm sure if you've done this at other places, you can email the picture. You can post it on social media. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's not that expensive. So that's the park concert. That's fun in the park. You can have a scavenger hunt. Which is always fun. I don't know, maybe not in July in Vegas, but I do like the glow in the park concert idea, where it's in the early evening, let's say 6 o'clock, when the sun starts to go down. I know 4 o'clock it's a little hot, but 6 o'clock it gets a little cooler, and that might be a great time to start it. And then by the time people eat and maybe get their pictures taken, the music starts, it gets a little cooler. And there's a lot of different things you can buy. The glow. Great idea. August, you can have an outdoor movie night. And then I'm not so sure about this one. The cupcake decorating, you get your clients' creative juices flowing with a fun and delicious cupcake decorating party. I don't know. That might be fun. Who knows? That might be fun. And that might be something you can do inside instead of outside. And then in September, there's lots of things here that you can do with lemonade and hot dogs, things like that. And then, or you can have a bagel brunch. Lots of ideas there. And this is brought to you by Brian Buffini. And he thinks a festive theme party is a great way to show how much you appreciate your A-plus clients and their referrals. And with these unique and entertaining party ideas, your clients will be sure to keep you top of mind all year long. And that's true. I've seen it. And then here's a checklist that Brian provides. And I'm going to put all these things in the group. And if you're watching on YouTube, please, join the group so you can get these things as well. We're still working on getting all these things put in one place where we can email them to you. Kane and his lovely wife, Nassim, have been in Turkey for 10 days. So it kind of put a stop to the production of getting you all these different items of value and so on and so forth, the hot sheets and things like that in one place. So anyway, in the meantime, here's your monthly checklist. Here's what you do in a month. Here's what you do 2 weeks out, 1 week out, 2 days out, and then the day of the party. And of course, after the party, here's a great idea. You want to send a personal note to all the attendees and to your guests who didn't attend the party as well, and then update your database that you did that. So I think this is just a great thing to do in the summertime. In most markets, July, August gets a little slower. So I think it's a great time to do a party. People are in the party mood. People aren't thinking of their kids are still out of school or it's the summertime for folks that their kids are off in college or their kids are in another state, whatever. It's a great thing to do for your clients to show your appreciation. And everything's here for you, the ideas and what to do timeline-wise with the checklist. Next we have, so what's a normal housing market might look like? Now, so this is an item of value, which again, will be in the group. I'm going to put the JPEG as well as the PDF. So you'll have both. And this talks about the buyer's perspective, homes to consider, less urgency to act immediately, home inspections are not waived, can request concessions from sellers, fewer bidding wars, homes not bought sight unseen, a lot of different buyers' perspectives. And so you need to understand these different perspectives so that you can, connect with your buyers. Because, and of course, who's in control of the conversation? Well, the person asking the questions. And I always say, your questions better be good questions. Anyway, from a seller's perspective, homes priced, right to sell quickly, equity in home built over time. You need to bring that to their attention because they do have perhaps, what's that? Get out of there. Money to, offer to buy down the interest rate for a prospective buyer. Homes, they say they're staying on the market longer, but maybe not so much in our market. Offers received at or close to the asking price. And back to this one, homes may stay on the market longer. That's usually because in our market, because they're probably priced a little high. People still think of the prices, when the median was $480 and now it's $450. So that's a big difference. And then on the seller's perspective, we have may need to make repairs and or concessions. And I always say, how much does a gallon of paint cost? But it makes you another couple $1,000s. So I always think that the better the home looks and feels, of course, the quicker it's going to sell, number one, and the price will be better. And I'm sure you all are in the business long enough to know that. And on the flip side, we have different types of housing markets. So again, this is an item of value. And what do you do with it? You put it in the mail or you email it to your database. So the seller's market occurs when there are more buyers than prospective properties available. There is more competition, especially for homes priced right. Buyers may waive home inspections and request for repairs. I just want to address that for 1 minute. And I say this a lot in classes and to my own agents at our office. I think if everybody just started, when you list the home, get an inspection. Make the seller aware of what the condition of the home is in the areas where you can't see, the mechanical things. And then there's no shock when the request for repairs comes in after the buyer does their inspection. And if you keep that inspection report on the kitchen, where your flyers might be in the kitchen stacked up, so a prospective buyer can take one. Now, what we know from, we took the, we have our ABR designations, and one of the things that the instructor kept saying is, do whatever you can to eliminate buyer remorse, and or if the people want to think about it, at least they're not worrying about the condition of the home, because you're giving them the inspection report before they make the offer. Do you see how that clears the air for everybody? I think it's brilliant. And I don't know why more and more of our agents don't do it. Yeah, you got to get the seller to cough up some money, but then that puts their skin in the game too. And it shows them what a professional you are. And when you tell them, look, it eliminates your fears of requests for repairs. You're going to find out things about your home that you could fix ahead of time. And as they fix things, they can put the invoices there by a licensed bonded contractor, and take the fear out of the buyer. And the other thing is, what we found from people that we talked about in the classes, the ABR classes, is, prices aren't so, people don't lowball that much when they know the condition of the home, and that the buyers fix those things, because what you see is really what you're getting. It's a great strategy, and it will make you, you'll probably be one of the only listing agents, let's say, until everybody starts doing it, or if I could only get the MLS to the board to have that attached to the made part of the listing agreement as an option. Anyway, I think it's a great idea. Buyer's market occurs when there are more properties for sale than buyers. Homes may stay on the market longer, and sellers may have to make concessions and or price reductions. Again, I think the inspection report for the buyer helps with those concessions, because you've already taken the fear out of the buyer's mind as to the condition of the home. And then there's the balance market, and that's we haven't seen that for a long time. That's when you have 90 to 180 days of inventory. I'd have to go back in my stats and see when we had more than 90. I seem to remember maybe when it was the pandemic, we had 118 days. That number sticks in my mind, but we haven't seen that for a while. Residential property prices are stable. Homes are sold at or near the asking price. That's a balanced market. Now, for the local market, for the individual buyer or seller, real estate is hyper-local. Home sales and prices are influenced by the communities, by what's going on in the community. My heavens, what's going on in Las Vegas? We're generating jobs. We've got $20 billion in projects going on. We've got the Super Bowl here next year. We've got the Madison Square Garden opening up. It's going to bring people here. And we also have the Formula One race. All these things bring people and bring eyes to Las Vegas. And you know what? For the first time, I'm starting to see Las Vegas on national news. Yeah, the Stanley Cup, that was surely something fantastic for our local market. And the fact that we're going to bring a baseball team here, that looks like that's happening. Don't know how you all feel about it being on the Strip. I don't know. Maybe Elon Musk is going to do underground tunnels, and there's going to be parking somewhere, and making it a fun trip to the ball game, and without a lot of traffic and parking issues. I don't know. One thing I did learn, I saw where at the Super Bowl, they're not going to have parking at the stadium. And that's because normally at Super Bowls, they have lots of activities that occur in the parking lot. So it's not Vegas. It's kind of, and I've never been to a Super Bowl, so I wouldn't know this, that there's a lot of activities and vendors and things like that go on in the parking lot. And that's why they say there's no parking at Allegiant Stadium for the Super Bowl. Just a little bit of trivia. And then, of course, we have the national market, which we talked about today a little bit. And when referencing this type of market data, such days on the market and prices often reflects a median halfway between the low and the high numbers. And metrics may also reflect our numbers for a specific region. So, yeah, there's lots of data out there. Here's the problem with the data when they group the Southwest or the West. They group us with California. And we are so unlike California that it taints our numbers. And I think sometimes when I look at the Housing Wire and some of the other Altos and CoreLogic and some of these other places that do research, they lump us together and they don't separate us, because we truly are an isolated market. Things that happen in Vegas are different. Yeah, they stay in Vegas too, that too. Anyway, let's move on here. So this is an item of value and something that probably, if you would include one of our stats, like the daily stats, uh, like I did yesterday when I isolated it. I'm only going to do that once a week. It's very time consuming right now for me. So I'm going to show you the regular sheet, and then on Mondays I'll break the different segments down so that you can have those every week for you to pass out or include in your mailing or email. What do we have? So when you're using your monthly marketing kit, so the working by referral system. Now, Jimmy and I teach 100 Days to Greatness. And 100 Days to Greatness is all about the basics in real estate. And the basics in real estate mean you have to have a solid foundation. And guess what that means? You have to have a database. And then why? Well, you want to be able to systematically and efficiently and easily use it to mail items of value, to follow up with phone calls, to send an email, to pop by, and to write personal notes. And so those are the 5 things that you need to do every month to market to your database if you're going to grow your business. And what does Jimmy always ask everybody in class? What are you doing? And what's the answer? I'm building a business. So in order to build a business, you need to do marketing. And this is the type of things. Now you'll notice here that in general, this doesn't say anything about social media. However, you do want to, when you send this e-report, maybe send a video as well. Maybe invite them to become your friend on Facebook or a connection on LinkedIn, or join. Maybe you have your own group for the part of town that you're in, which that's going to become more prevalent as time goes on. But anyway, that's how you use your marketing kit. And then here's a schedule. We all need schedules. And if it's not written down, guess what? It doesn't get done. So you received your marketing kit in the mail. Yes. Okay. That comes. Then you mail the item of value and the cover letter. And if you're a member of Buffini, they do give you a cover letter. Now, I give you the item of value every month in the group. And as long as you put Buffini's name on it, yes, you can use it. Now, why would Buffini do that? Well, Buffini wants you to eventually perhaps join his group, take one of his classes, understand, how to be a better agent. And people that follow Buffini's systems, they average $75,000 instead of $36,000 or $40,000 a year in annual commissions. And people who really get it going on after 5 years are making $250,000. And I mean, many of his people that are in the Buffini system are making way more than that. And a lot of it is because they have adopted over time. Now, listen to this, over time. So after you've been doing things like this for 3 to 5 years, do you think your database is going to grow and start referring you? Of course they are, because you're consistently sending them the item of value. You're following up with a phone call. You're emailing the e-report. And then you're staying connected, maybe posting on social media, maybe sending a video message. And then the end of the month, you start all over again. And you get the next month's marketing kit, and you send personal notes and deliver pop-bys. That's the last week of the month. So we're going to get into some pop-by ideas in just a second. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. So, this business is not difficult. It's just hard work. It's a lot of work. So this is why. Okay, let's move on to one more thing I'm going to do for today, and then I'm on my way because I've got a few seconds left. There's some pop-bys, and again, I'm going to put these in here. So if you have the 4th of July is coming up, you can go buy little flags, and you can print these, cut them out, use a pipe cleaner, whatever, staple your business card to the pipe cleaner or whatever you're attaching, using a ribbon or something, and attach your business card in this, celebrating your referrals and an amazing 4th of July. And this you would, celebrating your referrals, hopefully this would, this would go to people who have referred you business. And then there's this one. This is one of my favorites, my very favorites. And it's and this is like if you well you if you haven't done a lot of Popeyes, this is really a starter. This is really a starter. And it says, I just wanted to catch up and let you know that I relish your referrals. My clients are the best and always cut the mustard. So this is really a cool thing to do. And you can go on Amazon and they have this Heinz tomato ketchup, relish, and mustard picnic pack. Now it's $5.08. So it's going to cost you $5.08, some time and gas to pop by and leave this. But what a great impression you're going to make, because of, you're telling people you relish their relationship and you want to catch up with them, and you're telling them that you can always cut the mustard and you appreciate their referrals. I think this is of all the things that I think I might do if I were still in the real estate business, is I would do this. And I mean, $5, let's say you have 100 people in your database or 100 people that you want to do this for, you'll make much more than that $500 in referrals when you start doing things like this and using that marketing kit and that schedule. Anyway, here's another one, and it says, just popping by to refresh your memory that I'm never too busy for your referrals. Now, this is great if you're, if this person hasn't given you any referrals, and maybe you staple this plus your business card to, a pack of lemonade, or so they can maybe a lemon. I mean, maybe do something really creative. But this is I love this one. This is a great idea for the summertime. I think that was it. No, one more. Here you go. You and your referrals are one in a melon. Now, do you want to take a watermelon and drop it off and staple your card and this to it? Why not? I don't know how much a watermelon costs these days, but that might be a great idea. And it, especially for the 4th of July weekend. So there we go. We have ideas today. Today was idea day, and hopefully I'm running a little bit over time, but